A nigga gotta beat Rakai ass though. You feel me? Some niggas you can tell when some niggas ain't never got their ass beat before. You feel me? Like when a nigga have a proper older brother beat your ass when you step out of line. Some niggas need that. Hey, shit, I did. I got my ass beat a couple times, my big brother. Now I'm straight now. Just don't up your hand too fast, and I get the flinching.
This Rakai needs to be stopped. By all means,
he has a Rakai problem on the
gotta stop giving this the excuse that he's just a kid. Understand everybody's not the same. Some people don't think the same. They need to start disciplining this Rakai.
Now hold on, that's my young boy, Rakai. I'm sure it cannot be that bad. I'm sure that he's just being a little over the top and exaggerating.
Wait, niggas, what the fuck? Where he got that from?
You just go right back, bro.
No, you did. I
did.
And after that, I come back in the room, I'm fighting you and Jamal at the same time. Right now. Now play around corner, take your ski.
Bro, I'm gonna keep the butt down. No,
come on, bro. Chill, bro. Hey, bro, chill.
Why are you throwing water
on my
security?
On my mother's soul was not me.
Hey.
My mother's soul? Oh, huh?
No, that's crazy. You throw water in the security face, bro?
Okay, we got something on our hands. Now, normally we can excuse this.
Rakai gonna get his ass beat one day.
16-year-old ignorance, which I think a lot of people have been doing. But coming off of Streamer University, there has to be a real examination of Rakai, his actions, his attachment to the group, and why streamers think that this is the way to make content going into 2025. Now, every time I try to make a video on Rakai, I get the news of the night and then upload it to my Notion, record it and everything like that. And as it's getting edited and ready to go, something different happens. And this time he pulled a prank that he thought was funny because his person who was doing his hairdresser messed up on his hair. So he called the cops to ask them how to sue. And it was a joke until the cops actually showed up.
Tell word to my mother the cops are here.
What the fuck?
My mother, but I don't know how to become an address.
This is like
nigga
101.
You do know back in the day, you could just call from your like what?
I literally called the cops, but hung up mad quick. Niggas still put up. Yeah, they track our phones.
You ain't know that, dumbass?
As a 16-year-old streamer who has risen to prominence by basically being a Kai Cenat clone, taking on that moniker and taking it to a whole nother level. He's a part of the AMPG League, as they're calling them. And he's been pumping out a lot of content and seeing a lot of success. But there's a lot of people asking, why is it that these content creators, namely the biggest of the big, want to be associated with a little kid who is hyperactive, who is doing all these crazy things and is depicting themselves like this on the internet?
I'm a hoe. I don't have no rights. I'm a bitch. And I'm short and ugly and black.
What? Oh, no nigga. Oh no. Oh, it's over with. Okay. That was a speed. That was a speed method right there.
This is just normal interactions.
That was a speed method. I know that.
Kid wasn't me when I was 16, but that's what people have been ultimately saying. And there have been a lot of people saying, you know, this is content. And I do agree to that to some extent. If we look at some of our favorite streamers or content creators back in the day, they used to do similar actions like this. Now, I know Phantom from being that crash out on 2K who threw chairs through walls and doors. And would rage every single time, you know, playing the game and losing. Raging was a thing. Raging is a thing. That is some sort of content. But it seems that the community,
but that nigga Rakai overdoing it
too far, and they are a little fed up of him, his actions, and his shenanigans.
I mean, I don't gotta watch the little nigga.
No, you know that shit that tells you I probably shouldn't do this. It's probably
okay. Y'all, bear with me now. I feel like the shit about to say some wisdom, but it's coming from the wrong messenger. You feel me? I'm just letting it be known.
Shouldn't do this. It's probably too far. That nigga Rakai don't got that.
That's a great message, but the wrong messenger.
Now, if this ain't the pot calling the kettle black, then I don't know what is.
You feel me?
Shay Frost is acting like the Spider-Man meme right here. Those sentiments are being echoed by a larger portion of the community. That and why he is around adults in adult-like situations, which we can address in 2 seconds. Now, for me and my perspective, I see Rakai as being nothing more than an extension or an evolution of what's been going on in streaming over the past couple of years. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not excusing using any of the incidents that happened at Streamer University, you know, the depictions of his room after the fact, or, you know, his physical altercations, whether it be a fight with Dabo or the Orbeez incident.
Damn. I ain't gonna lie, Dabo gotta start using his height and weight to his advantage. Cause why the fuck is Rakai pressing you against the fucking wall? No, we gotta no. Cause at some point bullying is deserved. Gang. Oh hell no.
Watch the camera.
Nah, Nick, cause nah, Dabo. Got this nigga showing out. Dabo. He let that bitch fly. Was two niggas missing one target? Am I tripping?
And we can only give so many excuses after time and time again situations like this happen, and now they're being escalated to where people are actually getting hurt. The one girl did get hit in the eye.
Oh yeah, she did.
It might have been stated that it was over exaggerated because she didn't end up in the hospital. She actually just ended up with an ice pack in her room. I still don't think that should be something that's downplayed. Sure, it might have hit her on the skin of the eye and she was okay this time, but an Orbeez directly to the eye
could fuck you up.
Blind somebody.
Yeah.
That's the reason why they provide goggles and tell you don't aim at people's faces when it comes to playing with them. But I do say this is just the nature of the clip farming era that we are in, with the one-upping culture that we are in, just trying to be over the top. And when you have a frontal lobe that isn't even starting to develop or is just in the processes of developing, I mean,
my shit halfway done. I feel like
this is what people find.
I feel like it is.
This is what people find content, and it's no knock inherently to Rakai. He is just a product of the era, in my perspective.
Environment,
but I
all
do
that.
think that we should be looking at this era and being more.
But still, a nigga gotta beat Rakai ass though. You feel me? Some niggas you can tell when some niggas ain't never got their ass beat before. You feel me? Like when a nigga have a proper older brother beat your ass when you step out of line. Some niggas need that. Hey, shit, I did. I got my ass beat a couple times, my big brother. Now I'm straight now. Just don't up your hand too fast and I get the flinching.
About what we put
But
out,
that's about it.
Ethos to say that, hey, this is okay, this is what we condone, this is fine and dandy. Because just like how I was critical of the other people on Kick doing things like this, I would still have to be fair and be critical of Rakai doing these exact same actions. Now, because of Rakai's actions, a lot of people have been questioning whether or not he should be in these situations, not just because he doesn't know how to handle himself in these situations, but also because these are very adult-like situations that are around Rakai and in the surrounding areas. It's no secret that Kai Cenat and Collective continuously remind us that they are an adult platform. It's not their job to, you know, influence the kids a certain way, or, you know, they should be able to consume things like weed or alcohol, which is true. They are of age. But when Kai is in those situations and we're facing criticism, those questions still come up and have to be taken into consideration.
Bro, this is it's 130,000 people watching, bro. You just said you're edging?
What?
Now it's like, okay.
I ain't gonna lie, he was wildly. He been wildly.
Now she's putting two and two together.
She's looking at her bathroom wig. She's looking at her towels and rags.
Oh no.
It's over.
Listen. Let me see what.
Now, she's putting two and two together.
Let me see what.
Tell him pack now. Please send Rakai home.
Kai's mom is now texting Kai Cenat to tell him, yeah, this is getting out of pocket and too far. Well, because he has put himself into adult situations, or at least the adults around him have welcomed him into these situations. I don't know how to frame this, but essentially Rakai is in these adult situations in which he shouldn't be in. And because part of the WL community is innuendos about sexual things or, you know, alcohol or whatever the case may be, it only makes sense. And it only makes sense that he should not be there. I think it's fairly simple. Now, with that being said, do I believe that Kai Cenat and the people around him like Talil, Punga, Ray, or whatever the case may be aren't doing the best they can to protect him? Sure. Little Rodney's son is not having, you know, Rakai be in these situations. However, the nature of the WL community is putting him in these situations. Do I think it would be different if Rakai was home? Probably not. He would still be making these these jokes. But being in the environment puts
all them
you
people,
at an extraordinary opportunity to be exposed to a bunch of different things. And we've seen what's happened before in the past when young people, 15, 16 years old, are into these places and spaces, and it honestly does not end well.
This nigga burner page, whatever it is, someone running the second page is taking clips from 3-4 years ago, posting them with captions that aren't true, trying to defame me and trying to drag me down with Act. Now, does Act run this page? I don't think so. Do Act most likely have control over this page? Yes. Act, you came on my Song Wars, you judge shit, I appreciate that. That's love. But at the end of the day, if you are coming on stream and you are saying weird shit to a nigga, to a kid I basically view as my little brother, you feel me? Noor, he's a Palestinian refugee.
What happened to Noor?
That doesn't understand.
Wait, what happened to Noor?
Palestinian refugee. He lives in Malaysia. He doesn't speak Malay. He lost his mother. I've known him for like 2 years now. He's gone through a lot. I don't want him in these situations where he's getting asked these weird questions. I don't know why my sister's even coming up, gang. You know?
That Noor Academics and Black Boy Max situation from just a few months ago at the top of the year was totally out of hand. And it's a situation that Noor shouldn't have even been in. But because the community dictates that this is the way that content is supposed to be made, then ultimately this is just another young man that succumbed to the pressures of the adults that ultimately failed him in the name of content or trolling or joking or whatever the hell be going on. And so then we wonder why these young kids ultimately end up regurgitating this nonsense, but it's because it's being spewed to them. And then not even just that, this ultimately becomes content for the entirety of the community to consume and make judge of or light of any situation.
I just feel like Rakai gotta chill out just a little bit. You feel me?
You're still scamming people. You're asking people around me for money. You're doing things that you know you shouldn't be doing and playing the I'm a kid card in order for you to get by, which is not cool. You've been on the internet long enough. You know the results of your actions, my nigga. You're scamming people, my supporters, my niggas in the com. You're doing all this, bro. You're scamming people outside, and you're playing that cool role. That shit's not it, bro.
Like, it's good that we're holding people accountable for the actions, but content, like whether it be Rakai, whether it be Noor, whether it be whoever, these 15-year-olds should not be the content for 30-something-year-olds when it comes to making them the butt of the joke, laughing.
I think 30-year-olds watching this shit for real.
Their childlike state or whatever the case may be. And the behavior only gets encouraged every time a non-serious video is made where, you know, people say that he needs a whooping or he's expelled and then he comes back or they treat him like a child or whatever. This is just only encouraging the behavior that's being depicted.
This Rakai nigga need a whooping, bro.
He do. No, Rakai needs a whooping though.
I ain't never paid attention to your ass as much as I did during the Streamer University.
You're expelled.
Rakai needs a whooping though, for real.
You are expelled. Rakai,
hey,
your shit up.
Rakai got, hey, I'm telling you right now, we would have been boxing just a little bit. Where's the disciplinary reaction? Where's the disciplinary reaction, bro?
Now look, one of the only reasons why I'm
ain't no disciplinary action. Actions, bro.
Specific reasons, because I'm 30.
No,
I shouldn't be talking about Rakai and all this other stuff. I didn't report on it when it was him and Little Tay going back and forth. And honestly, I'm employed. I shouldn't be talking about it now. But I find it very interesting, though, that when it came to the Zoe Spencer situation, yes, I keep bringing it up, a couple weeks ago, that was taken very much more serious than the Rakai situation. I would think that both people would say that they are equally annoying and would dismiss both of them if it was all equal, right? But are we going to continue to give him the 16-year-old pass? And then secondly, and most importantly, I think that this is an opportunity to take a look at the nature of what WL content is, streaming is, whatever the case may be. I saw Streamer University this weekend, and while there were a bunch of magnificent things to say, if we're being critical of what's going on in the future, I saw clip farming to an immature level that I thought I would never see in my life.
Hey, bro, them clips was funny as shit. Like that? Wait, what the fuck? What the? Is that $1? Ew. Nigga, what the fuck?
We going, bro. I don't give a fuck. I'm taking everything. Yo, oh yeah, flour. We out, bro.
Nigga, it's agent room, right? Oh, hell no. This is agent's room, ain't it?
Get the fuck out of here, nigga. Y'all niggas think it's appropriate to come in my fucking room while I'm not there? It's a difference between content, nigga. Learn the fucking difference, bitch ass nigga.
No, no.
So while I definitely understand.
Why y'all doing it to my little homie? Why y'all doing it to Maya's little homie like that?
Understand Agent's gripes about, you know, what No Limit J did to his room at Stream University. I'm definitely not condoning anybody breaking into that place and space for him. I just have to ask the question, how would he or why would he know the difference between what content is and not content, what that line is, whether he's over it or whatever the case may be, if what he sees is that type of content being rewarded on a daily basis? Rakai ended up being a top 4 most watched channel on Streamer University, and most of it was based out of his actions and shenanigans. He got millions of views off of clips, and if I'm an onlooker and I see that that's what's being rewarded with having the opportunity to not only go to Streamer University, to not only be one of the most watched channels, but to constantly be around Kai Cenat as well, being in that Clover house and changing my life. I mean,
shit, I would do it too, but not to that extent though.
That's a situation that a lot of 16-year-olds don't get. Rakai is essentially, and I know this is going to sound like uber glazed to him, and it's probably so, he definitely is still taking advantage and working hard at his craft. I don't want to get that wrong.
I ain't
but
got no
Rakai is like the equivalent of, I don't know, a top high school prospect right now. He is slated to be
like JJ Jeremiah Smith
in the next couple of years. If he
is that Glaze, goddamn
trajectory. But if we look at the path and the trajectory, it is the type of content that was just criticized a couple weeks ago. So if I'm a young streamer, I'm a little bit conflicted, and not really even conflicted. Okay, they got one person out of here, Zoe or whatever. There's all these reasons, but I see Rakai over here reaching new heights. I see No Limit J reaching new heights. I see all these content creators reaching new heights by doing this exact same extreme content. Sure, they shouldn't be in adult situations and themes and stuff like that. That is a full stop, and I don't think that people are putting them in that. So I want to refute that narrative as a whole. But at the end of the day, if they are looking at this type of content and they're also seeing the success, why not replicate it? You guys tell me, should they do something about Rakai? Should they kick him out in order to, you know, set a good example or stay consistent or whatever the case may be? I think that it's perfectly fine, especially because this is the nature of things. I do think that he does not need to hurt anyone. I think that that's just totally too far. But any narrative—
I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna keep it a buck. I feel like the Orby situation, he didn't mean to shoot the girl in the eye, for real. Unless I don't know nothing, but I feel like that was a misinput. I can't really say he did that shit on purpose. But still,
explicit situations or
kind of ass be just a little bit
and stuff like that, to me, is very much overblown, and it's a narrative that paints the people around him as worse actors than they actually are. But let me know what you think in the comments, because this is a bad path that content is going down.
I ain't gonna lie, that little nigga, he just needs to ass beat. Chat, no bullshit. He just needs his ass be like one-on-one friendly fade from like his mama or something like that, or his brother. That's about it. He gonna straighten out, real shit.